We're back. Wait, now we're back. All right, we're back, Ethan. It's been way too long since we've been on Inside the Diamond here. Episode 23 here on X or YouTube, wherever you are watching from. We appreciate you taking some time out of your night after the trade deadline to come and recap it with us today. Ethan, like I said, it's been I think almost 2 weeks since we did a live together. And while, it hasn't been that long, it feels way longer. We apologize, obviously, for the lack of shows, but some stuff in my life just happened this the last couple of weeks, and it's been hard for me to kind of find the time to go live. So what better to do it than after the trade deadline, Ethan? There is a lot to go over tonight, man. But how have you been, and how are you feeling after this trade deadline?
I'm so excited. Me and you were reacting to some of the trades for the first time because we were both really busy today, but the Rays had an absolutely fantastic deadline. Your Yankees, when we were looking over some of the stuff, had a fantastic deadline too. Over 40 trades we're going to cover. Definitely a jam-packed episode, but thank you for the over 150 people already in here. And I know we did the draft show and we talked about it being the most exciting time of the baseball season. It's the trade deadline. This was just an unbelievable deadline, and there's so many moves that I don't think a lot of people really expected either.
No, not at all. And I mean, I talked to you about this and how I mentioned, the draft and the All-Star break kind of being the most exciting time by far for me of the baseball season, and how the trade deadline kind of, I don't love as much because of all the rumors that don't turn out to be true. But man, once that first trade came in during the last couple of days, I was right in it. It was so entertaining and so much fun to cover. So I appreciate everybody showing me all the support that they did on my end for the entire trade deadline. It was really busy, and this is my first time covering like a trade deadline, and I wasn't even the one getting sources. So I can only imagine what the guys like Jeff Passan and Ken Rosenthal are feeling like right now. They probably are the most exhausted that they've been in a while, Ethan. But I say we just get into these trades, like you said, man. We got over 40 to cover, so I think we should get right into it.
Yeah, I mean, Yaz going to KC. I like that a lot,
Yeah.
and think it provides them some more just outfield depth. He's had a pretty solid season. I know it's not compared to like the 2022 or 23 season he had with the Giants, but I think it's some solid outfield depth, and the Royals have made a few decent moves, and they extended Seth Lugo, which was a fantastic move on their part as well.
Mhm. Yeah, I completely agree. And they didn't really give up much at all for Yaz. And I think this is a great get for them, especially at the buzzer, because this was like, I think, the last trade that I saw of the deadline. Giants got busy there at the end of the deadline, and parting ways with Yaz kind of sucks. He was a big staple of that organization for the last few years. And I think he'll excel with the Royals and Kaufman there. Uh, I didn't expect him to get moved. I don't know about you. He wasn't someone that was on my radar at all.
No, and it's almost because like you think he's kind of a staple there. You wouldn't really
Yeah.
consider him a veteran yet, but I mean, you have kind of young pieces on that team that aren't as established. Some of these guys, while they might be established, they've only been there for 2 or 3 years. But Yaz kind of seems already like a veteran presence on the Giants. So I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah. The return, like I said, it wasn't really that juicy there for the Giants. So I love the trade for the Royals. Um, like I said, a buzzer beater there, but a really good one at that. That's a really solid bat that you're getting in Mike Yastrzemski. Uh, Next, let's go down to the Minnesota Twins because they traded with the Tampa Bay Rays, Ethan. And this is one that you actually, I think, realized like an hour and a half ago. Griffin Jacks. Didn't think he was going to get dealt there as the deadline came to a close, but Rays got something done. They part ways with Taj Bradley, and that's all they needed to do.
What's up, baseball? Yeah, I immediately got off work. I had probably 10 or 11 text messages from people saying Jax, Jax, Jax. I'm like, oh, okay, like Griffin Jax got moved, and it, who is it going to be? The Rays. This is one of the best moves of the deadline. Griffin Jax and Johan Duran were rumored really not to be moved, and the packages would have been insane. And to all the Taj Bradley doubters, I think this kind of proves just the value that he has kind of had with the Rays. He's 24 years old. He has multiple years of control. I think Minnesota was probably looking for a team with an MLB ready guy like Taj Bradley, who has multiple years of control. And Jax himself has 2.5 years. Griffin Jax, if you're unfamiliar with him, has arguably the best swing and miss stuff in Major League Baseball. 100 percentile chase rate, 99 percentile whiff rate, K rate 36.8%. He has 3 out of his 5 offerings with a whiff rate over 40%. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised too if they tried him as a starter at some point down the road. This move is just utterly fantastic. And it definitely shocked me that he was moved. And it was certainly shocking that he was moved to my team. So couldn't be happier.
Yeah, I really wanted Griffin Jax to the Yanks. I mean, you knew that. I thought he was going to be Bronx bound
Right.
here. But, I mean, Taj Bradley clearly wasn't working in Tampa. It sucked, but he just wasn't really working. And he goes over to Minnesota and still provides some decent stuff in the underlying advanced profile there. Pretty solid fastball velo at 96.1 miles an hour. He does limit barrels a really good amount, and he gets a decent amount of ground ball contact as well. So this is a good, I guess, blueprint for the Twins to try and work with here. And all it costed them was one of their better relievers. So
yeah, fix the splitter shape, throw the cutters to lefties, see what you can get, maybe add another pitch. But the Twins have a good pitching development system. I know we do as well, but I could still see talent oozing out of Taj Bradley. He's only 24 years old and has a lot left to prove. So I think it's good for both ends.
Yeah, and keeping it moving here, we're staying among the AL Central, but this time they actually got a guy. And they went for Charlie Morton here from the Baltimore Orioles. I'm not, a big Charlie Morton guy. I get why teams want him, especially down the stretch of a successful season where you're pushing for a World Series. This is a 41-year-old right-hander who has a lot of experience, and while he hasn't looked great this year, experience is sometimes all you need in the postseason. A guy to just eat innings. Ethan, do you really think too deeply about this trade at all? It's kind of all I saw from it.
I kind of like it only because his last 50-ish innings, 55-ish innings, he has a sub 4 or a sub 4.2 ERA. So he was starting to get trade interest. It kind of reminds me of a Justin Verlander when, he, I think as of a few hours ago was receiving trade interest too, which was crazy. But I mean, adds depth to the rotation. They've already made a couple moves as well. I think they at one point lost 11 out of their last 12 games. So they've been kind of scuffling, but Charlie Morton, veteran presence, he's going to eat innings. He's been good in the playoffs too. So I like the move for the Tigers. Well, it's, not vintage Charlie Morton. I think he provides innings, allows the other starters to remain healthy going into the playoffs. And I mean, he's been a career good playoff pitcher as well.
Yeah, and I mean this season, July wasn't an amazing month for him, and neither was April at all. I mean, he had a 9.26 ERA then. But the months of May and the months of June, he looked great. He had a sub 4 ERA in May. He had a sub 3 ERA
Yep.
uh, in or in June, yeah. But so that couple of months stretch, he was really good. I'm wondering if the change of scenery here with a more competitive team can maybe help him get back to that. But we'll see. I think that being in a rotation that doesn't have guys like Zach Eflin and other pitchers that aren't very good, and
Right.
going into a rotation now with Tarek Skubal and Chris
Best
Paddock,
pitcher on the planet. Yeah, it
that
helps a little
clarity,
bit.
I think it's going to help a lot. So, veteran presence that's great for a postseason run. I think that's a great move for the Tigers. Moving down the line here, we get to talk about one of my favorite moves of the entire deadline. The
Toby,
Yankees
you
at
guys
the buzzer.
cooked.
Yankees at the buzzer went out and got another late inning guy in Camilo Duvall from the Giants. Wasn't expecting this at all. I didn't know he was on the trade block. I mean, I know he's had a down year compared to his couple of years past, but Ethan, man, I love this move for the Yankees. They needed a guy to take some pressure off of Luke Weaver, Devin Williams. They got exactly that, and they got more, which we'll talk about later on in this show. But I mean, what could you not love from a guy like Camilo Duvall? Matt Blake is going to absolutely cook with this kid. 2024, I want to take you back where he ranked. I think it was the 95th percentile. I said earlier on Twitter in average fastball velo, and then his XBA that same year was like sub 200. So he's got some nasty stuff. I mean, a slider cutter sinker combo. He uses that slider over half of the time. This year has not really been as dominant as I would have expected, but I mean, still, advanced profile looks pretty damn good. He gets a lot of ground ball contact, strikes out a decent amount of guys, gets a decent amount of whiff as well, and he's going to limit hard hit contact pretty solidly, which I think is what the Yankees need more than anything out of a late inning guy.
I mean, yeah, Duvall last year, down year with a 4.88 ERA. He still struck out 78 batters in 59 innings. Ground ball rate this year is in the top 13%, close to a 40% whiff rate on the slider. You guys, I mean, we're going to get into it in a little bit. You guys had some unbelievable bullpen moves, unbelievable moves in general, and the Yankees bullpen looks locked and loaded after the deadline.
Yeah, and I mean, they'll get some pieces back as well from the IL. So I'm hoping that the Yankees love to say that the IL is their deadline pieces. So I mean, we'll see how good that tends to do for them. I think obviously getting Leiter and Cruz back is going to be huge for them. But even if they don't get them back to where they want them to be, the moves that they made really helps. Let's move it down to the Rays again. Or actually, no, I'm skipping over one. We got to talk about Phil Maton going to the Texas Rangers from the St. Louis Cardinals.
I love it. We were the rare instance where Phil Maton didn't work out. The Arsenal usage with us wasn't really the best. He went to, I think it was the Mets last year, proved to be really good. And I mean, this year with the Cardinals, 38.1 innings pitched, 48 Ks, 2.35 ERA. Coming to the Rays, when we acquired him, he was the best at limiting hard contact. He's done it again this year. Hard hit rate, top 1%, barrel rate, top 3%, gets 7 feet of extension. The mix is gross. I like it. And this is already a team that has added more arms in the Texas Rangers, too, in terms of the bullpen. Phil Maton, you know what you're getting. Ground ball pitcher, elite extension. The K stuff is still going to be there. I mean, he's striking out over 30% of the batters he faces. So this is a fantastic move for the Rangers. And I know a lot of people were kind of out on them a few weeks ago. They're definitely establishing them as a presence again. And they were certainly aggressive at this year's deadline.
Yeah, my take for them winning the AL pennant, I don't know if that's too far gone now after this trade deadline. His advanced profile is disgustingly good. I mean, 96 to like 98th percentile on a lot of this stuff, like the barrel rate, hard hit percentage, average exit velo, XBA. That's a guy that you want on your team come the postseason. He does struggle a little bit with the walks. He has a 9.5 walk percentage, which is not very promising to see out of a guy who is 32 years old. But besides that, I mean, gets a lot of swing and miss. He limits hard hit contact, and I think that's really at the end of the day. I think I even said that already. That's really what's most important for these teams. So,
oh yeah,
I love the move. I think it's awesome, and I think that the Cardinals, I think they did a great job selling off a lot of their pieces. Let's keep it moving, Ethan. Back to your Rays, because they got a guy I thought that the Yankees got earlier yesterday, and Cutter. I thought Cutter's done watching sports. You see that?
Oh, and dude, Cutter. I mean, Cutter, what an absolute doozy of a deadline that you guys had.
Yeah, we're going to get to your Sox in a minute here, but it's probably not going to be many good things. The Sox disappointed a lot of people in this deadline, I think. where was I going? Back to the Rays as they got Adrian Hauser from the Chicago White Sox. MLB Pipeline posted that Hauser got traded to the Yankees yesterday. So I threw a tweet out, and then as soon as people started commenting where the reports of this, every single report I saw was taken down. So that was really annoying, and that was a pretty solid lesson learned there about the trade deadline pretty early on. But Adrian Hauser did not go to the Yankees. He went somewhere else in the division to the Rays, Ethan. And then as a Rays fan, you lost Zach Littell. But what do you think about adding a guy like Adrian Hauser?
I mean, I like it. I mean, honestly, I could see them potentially extending him 30+% whiff rate on the curveball and changeup. This is a guy that's going to consistently throw strikes too. Decent ground ball pitcher, gets above average extension, limits a barrel rate. And over the course of this year, 68.2 innings pitched, 47 Ks with a 2.10 ERA. He's been very solid. And this is just like a typical Rays move, a guy that's going to kind of attack the zone, limit hard contact. They could work with the arsenal. There's, 5 pitches to work with. 2 of them are pretty solid with a 30% plus whiff rate. I like the move a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about this move. This guy at home does really, really solid with a 1.38 ERA there at home. Then on the road, a 2.75 ERA as well. So that makes me think that a change of scenery can really just do something solid for him. He's now going to a team that really can make a wild card push. Their chances are really just not in their favor right now. We'll see backs against the wall. Can Hauser come in and help out the Rays starting rotation? I personally think that he really will. You outlined a lot of stuff that I think the Rays are going to like, and I'd love to see him get an extension with them after this year, especially if he does really good in the second half. We're staying in division now, and we're going to one where this happened, I believe, to another guy, and we'll get to that in a minute, but this one happened to Jose Caballero. He had to walk across the field and switch teams here as the New York Yankees picked him up after that rain delay ended, and I believe they were in the middle of the 7th inning. But Ethan, man, our resident Rays fan here, what do you think about the move?
Yeah, I mean, I think Cabby's a solid player. I think he's an even better player when he's more of a platoon role. He's not playing every single day. We saw that kind of production with Seattle when they acquired him for Luke Raley. This is a guy that can play third. He can play short. He can play second. He can play pretty much every single outfield position. I think he's even played center field before too. He's going to have another season with 40+ bags. I think he still leads the league in stolen bases, at least in the AL. And yeah, you get the defensive versatility. This is a guy that hits lefties pretty well. You're certainly not going to see him that much against right-handed pitching, but super freak athlete. The Yankees right now desperately need defense. I know that you've been watching the games and it's been ridiculous what they've been doing defensively, especially with Anthony Volpe. But yeah, I like the move a lot. The defensive versatility helps a lot. And like I said, I think he's a lot better when he's not in an everyday role.
Yeah, which he won't be on the Yankees, that's for sure. And I mean, you mentioned the defense already, 84th percentile there for outs above average. That's going to play very nicely for the New York Yankees, who have now seen some better defense with Ryan McMahon in there at third base. But I mean, it's got to get better across the board. And Jose Caballero offers you that. And just as a whole, a great bench piece, in all honesty. Like, 100%. When you see all of these World Series teams that actually are able to win the World Series, it's the bench that comes through and really helps them when they need it the most. And even the sprint speed from Jose Caballero is like a lot better than what the Yankees are accustomed to. And he's only 68th percentile for sprint speed. So I love the move. I thought it was really cool seeing a guy switch again clubhouses in the same game. That was really funny. But the Yankees clearly have just a plan in mind in how they want to attack the rest of the season. They didn't want to spend a lot, and I don't blame them for wanting to necessarily do that. But they added some really, really solid depth pieces. And there were some really bad depth pieces, honestly, to go out and get. And I think they went a different direction and really got some good guys. So more for them to cover soon, but we got to keep it rolling here as we go down to the Boston Red Sox. We finally get to this one that's already been commented. Dustin May gets traded from the Dodgers and is now heading across the country to Boston. They didn't get Joe Ryan and, they didn't get Merrill Kelly, but Dustin May is who they got, Ethan.
I mean, I kind of trust anyone under Andrew Bailey at this point. Granted, the results really haven't been there, but at the same time, like, this dude has one of the nastiest sweepers in Major League Baseball, crazy East-West arsenal. And didn't they give up Tibbs for him? If I'm mistaken? Yeah,
they did.
I think that's weird that you flip. Tibbs is like the main part of the Devers trade, and then you flip him for Dustin May. And if I'm mistaken, he's a free agent next year. So I don't know. The Red Sox kind of had a weird deadline. I don't think they really needed to add too much. They've been on fire recently. Roman Anthony's been just absolutely heating up. Alex Bregman looks unbelievable. But like I said, I think Dustin May under the Red Sox umbrella will be perfectly fine. Hopefully he just stays healthy. I mean, the guy's 6'6" and just has gross stuff. So I don't know. I could see it working out, but also I'm not going to get my hopes up too much because we really haven't seen a Dustin May breakout yet at still age 27.
Yeah, no, I love the fit in terms of just team color scheme and just the hair. That's going to obviously fit better than any other team. Maybe the Reds would be better for Dustin May, but I
Big
mean,
hair guy
besides
or
that,
what?
well, when he's got ginger hair and he's going to a team that's called the Red Sox, I'm a big fan of that. But it hasn't been a great year for Dustin May, who's just really had an unlucky go of his career so far. Like you said, we haven't seen that breakout yet from him at 27 years old, but he provides a lot of breaking run value there out of the rotation for him. I'm really interested to see how it goes. I just think when you heard all the rumors of possibly Joe Ryan and Jaron Duran getting moved for a
Oh,
guy like Joe
yeah.
Ryan or
Definitely let
Merrill
down.
Kelly, even Dylan Cease rumors, I wasn't ever sure if, Dylan Cease to Boston was really ever rumored, because I do try to keep my head out of like the BS rumors as much as I can. But I mean, I like it. I wanted the Yankees to even try to pursue Dustin May. I'm a little upset that he went to the rival, but after seeing the rest of the moves that the Red Sox made, I'm not really too scared of them post deadline. But they still have an incredible team, and they kept Jaron Duran. So I like the move a lot, Ethan. But we got another starting pitching move. We're moving across to the AL Central here because the Royals went out and got left-hander Bailey Falter from the Pittsburgh Pirates. How you feeling about that?
I think he could kind of throw the advanced profile out the window. He gets elite extension, top 4%. The Royals pitching development the last few years has been unreal. I mean, look what they did with Noah Cameron. Look what they did with Cole Reagans, Seth Lugo. I mean, Seth Lugo was fantastic in his career, and he was good with San Diego before he got traded, but they just gave him an extension. They've consistently had guys in the rotation that have been really solid. They've been good at developing arms, and I think there's still a lot to work with. Four-seam slider, sinker, curve, splitter. It's kind of like a 2 or like 11-degree tilt in terms of like his profile going like up and down. But I think there's a lot to work with, and I mean, just the Royals in general, I trust them a lot with what they're able to do, and I don't know how long he's going to stay there for. Maybe they could potentially use him in the bullpen later down the road too. But I like the move. At least too, he eats innings. I mean, this is a guy that was close to 143 innings last year.
Yeah, I mean, seeing what they've done with Chris Bubich, Cole Reagans, I mean, throwing in another lefty in the mix who's only 28 years old, I really like that. His walk rate has been like more concerning this year compared to the last couple of years. I'd love to see a change of scenery, maybe help him revert back to that 2023
Right.
87th percentile walk rate where he was just walking guys under a 6% clip. Because then we're really getting a lot of value out of Bailey Falter. And even now, I mean, his walk rate's not terrible. It's just around average. But like you said, elite extension, gives great fastball run value as well. So an awesome 5-pitch mix too from the left side. I think there's a lot of potential here with Bailey Falter heading to the Royals. And like you said, their track record, especially with lefties, has been really good. So I'm
Very
excited
good.
to see what he can do, especially helping them make a push maybe for the postseason. But we're moving down now to the Chicago Cubs, who I kind of thought were going to be a lot busier. They made a lot of moves, but I thought they were going to be a lot busier. And in all honesty, top to bottom, their lineup's kind of been gross lately. So I don't really think they needed to do all too much. But they did, I think, what they needed to do. And they added a great utility guy here. And I love how Passan said this super utility man in Willie Castro from the Minnesota Twins. I really, really like this trade. I really, really like this. And I'm really upset that the Yankees didn't have a chance to go out. And I'm sure they had a chance, but I'm really upset that they didn't go out and get Willie Castro, Ethan. This guy, for what you get out of a utility guy, I mean, he's absolutely elite.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's probably going to have around 13 to 14 home runs, 13 to 14 steals. This is a guy that's really good at putting the ball in the air too, hits the ball over the field, and he's quietly been having a great season with Minnesota. He's kind of faltered over the last, I want to say like maybe month-ish, but this is a guy that's still going to rock an OPS around 720 to 750, provide decent defense. I know the OAA isn't really good this year, but this is a guy that can play every single position. He provides a lot of depth too. He's still only 28 years old, and I think Willie Castro, in my opinion, your opinion as well, is just one of the most fun utility players to watch in Major League Baseball.
He absolutely is. Really one of the most underrated baseball or players in baseball, I feel like. He hits the sweet spot a lot on his bat. So I'm excited to see what he provides in the field, but also what he could do in a pretty hitter friendly ballpark there in Wrigley Field. But I'm excited to see where they have him playing. But this is off topic, and we're gonna get to this trade pretty soon here. Ethan, Brian Hayes just hit a 3-run bomb for the Reds.
I love it. I mean, so, we absolutely loved it. That got, by the way, got a lot of slack for kind of talking about his advanced profile, and I guess not the results. This guy has a 99 WRC plus in Great American Ballpark, and he's been playing for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Look at like every player that's left that organization. Look at every player that's left the White Sox recently. I think Brian Hayes is going to be a great fit there. I think we have no doubts about it. And this guy is unbelievable defensively at third base too. One of the best in Major League Baseball.
Yeah. Well said. We'll get to that trade here pretty soon, but if you couldn't tell by that, we're pretty big fans of it. Texas Rangers, Ethan. Talking about him again, Merrill Kelly. He didn't go to Boston. He didn't go to New York like I kind of thought he was going to go, but he went to the Texas Rangers here instead. And I really like this move. Merrill Kelly, a great veteran pitcher here who has been able to eat a lot of innings. Saw what he's been able to do with the Diamondbacks this season. And as far as, his numbers on paper, 3.22 ERA, 22 games started. He has a whip that's almost sub 1 and 121 strikeouts in 128 innings pitched, 128 and 2/3. But solid numbers from a guy who's 36, and the chase rate, 80th percentile there, above average in walk rate and ground ball rate as well. I think he's going to do great things for Texas, man. I think especially for a team that is looking to make a deep postseason run, this is going to be an incredibly valuable arm for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Merrill Kelly is just one of the most underrated pitchers in baseball, and I think a lot of people were down on him when he came back from his injury. And I mean, granted, there was reasons why, but he's still doing it again. This is a guy with great whiff rates on his changeup. The changeup last year, by the way, I don't know if you've kind of looked into how good his changeup and his cutter are. He had not an expected, a .099 batting average against on his changeup with a 30+% whiff rate. Same thing again this year, 178 batting average against, 232 XBA. His cutter too, still playing very well. This is a guy that's going to eat innings. He's consistently reliable. We've seen it the last couple of years with Arizona and now doing it with the Rangers. The mix is there. He gets an above average ground ball rate. Merrill Kelly is going to eat innings. He's going to provide good value. And I mean, we spoke about it earlier. The Rangers are like kind of all in right now. This is kind of similar to the 23 season where they kind of went all in like near the deadline and shocked some people, but they're going all in, and I love to see it.
I absolutely love it as well. And this is a great landing spot for him. I feel like, for a guy who went to Arizona State, played for the Diamondbacks, I mean, this is a guy who probably doesn't want to go far away from the state of Arizona. He doesn't have to go that far. He can go to Arlington and he'll be right there with the Rangers. He's really solid, and I can't wait to see what he does. He's pitched World Baseball Classic games as well, so he already has, big games under his belt. I
love that WBC shout out.
Was he healthy for that postseason run that the Diamondbacks had, where they went to the World Series in 23? I'm pretty sure he was, but I don't want to just say that.
Yeah, because he was the one that talked about Citizens Bank not being louder than the WBC. I remember that, and then he pitched in Citizens Bank, and I think he gave up a nuke like right after that. I think Merrill Kelly was the person that was talking about that.
Yeah, so I don't want to go around saying he's like an amazing lights out postseason pitcher, but he's been on a team that has gone deep into the postseason, and I think that's something that honestly is going to go pretty overlooked with him.
For sure.
But now we get into another platoon guy here. Alex Call gets traded from the Washington Nationals over to the LA Dodgers. I really like what the Dodgers did with a lot of their moves. I like this one a lot.
This is like one of my favorite underrated moves. I think me and you have talked about Alex Call for the last year and a half about the plate discipline. Yeah. Dude, top 3% in chase rate, doesn't whiff, doesn't K, and draws walks. The pop isn't really there, but he's pretty solid in the field, has an above average arm. He's a freak athlete. And the Dodgers, in terms of developing players and just drafting and acquiring guys, they're a very contact first org, and they develop power over time. Even like when Max Muncy was like first a prospect, even when he was with the A's, wasn't really a power guy. They developed him more into a kind of contact profile, and then the power extremely developed over time. But Alex Call, elite plate discipline, can play kind of all over the outfield, and I think it's a solid move for the Dodgers. It was one of my favorite underrated moves of the entire deadline. And I think to your point too, that we mentioned earlier, a guy that we really didn't expect to get moved.
Yeah, no, and I mean, well, the OPS is at 757 with a slug that's under 400. This dude's an on base machine, man. At almost a 375 clip, gets on base a lot, and that's what's going to be huge for the Dodgers in the postseason. So I really like this move for him. I thought that they were going to go for a player like this again, like you kind of mentioned. I just didn't know if or think it was going to be Alex Call. So I think that's a great fit for him. Now we got a bigger trade though, and of course it comes from AJ Preller and the San Diego Padres. They went out and they made a lot of moves today, a lot of package moves. And this one from the Baltimore Orioles gave him Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano. Nick, I'm going to give you a grade for the Yankees when we're done talking about them. But I mean, Ethan, do you have a grade for them? Because straight away, man, I'm thinking like A. I'm thinking A.
I'd say at the absolute worst A. I'd probably go A minus.
And Ethan, but Nick, you and we don't talk about the Yankees, me and you too much, Nick. But anybody who knows me knows that I am very hard on Brian Cashman, especially when the trade deadline comes around. I thought he knocked it out of the park this year. I thought he gave up the perfect amount. He gave up prospects that were necessarily just roadblocked and didn't have much of a way to get up to the big league level. And at the end of the day, this is the New York Yankees. You gotta go out and help the big league club out. Padded the bullpen really nicely. Got great depth pieces. I love it. I love everything they did. Not a guy.
Toby, I was reacting to the Yankee moves like literally as we hopped on the call because I worked all day, and I was like, you got Bednar, like we'll get into it, but Bednar and like all these guys, I'm like, holy shit, like the Yankees cooked in insane. I mean,
it wasn't like guys that were like kind of projects either. Like these are like well established leaders.
Great point. Very established guys. Yeah,
I think are going to help a lot. And the Yankees can make their case for going after project guys, and they have an absolute chef in Matt Blake there in their coaching staff, but they went out and they got guys that I don't think he's going to have to do too much with. So
right.
I love what the Yankees did. I absolutely love it. But we're going back to the Padres here, who got two incredible players from the Baltimore Orioles in Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano. O'Hearn hit a bomb in his final game with the Baltimore Orioles. Ethan, what do you think he's going to provide here for the Padres?
I mean, this is a guy that smokes righties, and I think he's going to fit very well in Petco. I think we could talk a lot about Ryan O'Hearn. We mentioned Ramon Laureano so many damn times on the show, even before like it was rumored he's going to be moved and like we like the acquisition. This guy has just been above and beyond what the Orioles have expected this year, and getting both of those guys is insane. And you would think that, I mean, we'll get into it later. You would think that's the biggest move that they made, acquiring two pretty solid talents, one being first base DH, more of a platoon guy, and then Ramon Laureano, which I don't even think he's hitting lefties all that well this year, has crushed them in his career. It wasn't even the biggest move that they made at all, to be completely honest.
It wasn't. Not even near it. Like, you would think that a team that goes out and gets Ryan O'Hearn, that's probably going to be one of their bigger moves of the deadline. I love this. I really do.
Padres are going all in.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit what they're giving up in terms of prospects right now.
Yeah, and this is a guy in Ryan O'Hearn who is already doing incredible with a team that wasn't necessarily competing at first. Now that you could definitely make the case that they are, but it'll be hard with a lot less in their lineup. But you add a Laureano on top of that, who not only has given you pretty much everything he has with the bat, OPSing almost 900 this year, but he provides you a lot in the field. And, the glove's not amazing, but the arm's really good. And I think that's something that the Padres are really going to value there while they have guys like Jackson Merrill and Fernando Tatis Jr. I think putting a guy like Ramon Laureano out there every now and then is going to be really great for them. Do we move down now to the Astros, Ethan? Because I think it's time to get into what they did, and they did a lot today as well. Whenever you get a tweet that says a team's done at the deadline, that means they did like a fuck ton, like so much. That you can't even keep track, and that's what the Astros did to an extent today. This move kind of came as like an afterthought almost to a lot of people. Jesus Sanchez is making his way over to Houston, and he'll be playing there for the Astros for the remainder of the year. Ethan, I've got some thoughts about this, but I kind of want to hear what you got to say first.
I fucking love it. I love it because there's probably a few of you watching that we've talked in DMs about the eventual Jesus Sanchez breakout. Yeah. We have not seen it yet, and I think year 3 of the breakout talks, the Astros almost immediately unlock something with players. And I could totally see Jesus Sanchez kind of being that guy for them. Elite bat speed, top 7% at 75.7 miles an hour, top 13% in average EV, plus barrel rate, hard hit rate, good expected stats. He's decent in the outfield, has good arm strength. The ex-Woba chart still definitely above league average over the last 100 PAs, peaking around, I think it's 384. I love the move. And like I said, I think the Astros are a team that could definitely unlock him. He's handling breaking balls better this year. The average EVs have gone up, while the whiff rates have gone down. I love everything about it. He's still 27 years old, and Peter Bendix is in a window right now with the Marlins that is fantastic. He's done an unbelievable job. And it's kind of like, do you really build around a 27-year-old who has shown glimpses of potential, but hasn't truly, lived up to it? I think it's a good move for both parties. But I think the Astros really unlock something with him because the talent is certainly there. This is a guy that hit a ball, I think, 500 and something feet in cores like 2 years ago.
Yeah. No, the blueprint's there for them for sure. And this is kind of the first thought that I had, but I don't know if I'll get anything for saying it. And I want to know what you got to think about it. But you look at the advanced profile, if he's to slightly get an uptick in his like EVs and hard hit numbers with the Astros and improve that plate discipline slightly, you know whose advanced profile he's not too far off of? Yordan Alvarez. Now, obviously, that's a big name to live up to, but the bat is not necessarily too different than what you get from Yordan Alvarez. If this guy can get the plate discipline together with the Astros, he can 100% increase his EV numbers to be a poor man's Yordan. He's not going to put up an advanced profile near it, but he can be that type of impact of a player to a degree with this team. And I think that's kind of what the Astros see in him. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if you agree with that to any extent. I know that's a kind of a hot take.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say the player, but I just think the production, and I just think the profile, like in general, this is a guy that's still posting like around the same max EV. He's top 6% in that. Hard hit rate isn't as good as it was last season, but the two main things that I see from him, one, he's swinging at the first pitch 8.5% less this year. He's striking out at 20.8%. If you haven't looked, it's by far a career low. It's over 5% less than it was last season, and he's walking more. There's so many things that are pointing in the right direction of a Jesus Sanchez breakout. Are we going to maybe see it in the second half?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe, but certainly next season, like I'm all in on Jesus Sanchez with the Astros, especially in that ballpark too in right field, all day long.
Yeah, look, not even right field, but looking at his spray chart here, there are a few doubles that went the opposite way, that with the Crawford boxes and left field there, that would have probably exited, and he'd now have closer to 15 home runs than 10. He mashes against righties. Like, it's just going to be a nightmare for right-handed pitchers when Sanchez is in this lineup. 9 homers, 4 triples, and 11 doubles against right-handed pitching this year. He's going to be an incredible bat against that side of the baseball for the Astros, and I'm really happy.
Even if you look at his career home runs too, he has 70 in Miami. He'd have 78 in Houston. That's, I mean, granted, that's if they played all their games there, but I think the ballpark dimensions, especially going the other way, definitely help him.
100%. Absolutely 100%. I think the breakout can come here and change of scenery. What is better than going from, one of the teams in the league that doesn't really compete for much, and then going to a team that competes for arguably more championships than any team in baseball right now, not named the Dodgers. So I love this.
He has 5 batted ball events out of his 10 home runs. He would have 5 more home runs playing in Houston right now.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I think it's 4 doubles and a triple, and I mean, some of them are would be way out in Houston too. So I think both of us, we absolutely love the move.
Yeah, I can't say enough about it. It hasn't been a move that I don't really like, honestly, which is kind of what I love about this deadline, is there was not like a really big head scratcher move as far as we've gotten to so far. But we got to talk more about the Astros here. But this one first, we're going to keep it in Texas with the Rangers getting Danny Colombe here from the Minnesota Twins. What do you think about this one, Ethan? I think it's a solid get for him.
I think it's a fantastic get for them. I wanted the Rays to get him so bad, but granted, the control wasn't there. He's still 35 years old, and he's been kind of injured over the course of his career. This guy has been the best in terms of ERA, lowest qualified ERA since 2023 among all relievers in Major League Baseball, and I think it's over 100 innings pitched in that time frame. Elite at limiting hard contact. He's great against both handedness hitters, which is fantastic, especially for a playoff team. And the arsenal is, I mean, gross. Like death ball. Even his four seam is like more of like a cut four seam, and his cutter plays like almost like a baby slider too. I think this is a great move. I wanted the Rays to get him so bad. We got Griffin Jackson. I mean, that blows, I think, Danny out of the water in terms of the control and the age factor. But this guy this year, I think 99th percentile in chase rate, 99th percentile in barrel rate, and top 10% in average EV. You know what you're getting with Danny Coulomb. He's not going to walk a lot of guys. He's going to provide swing and miss stuff while limiting hard contact. That's about as good as you're going to get at the deadline, and especially since he's good against both handedness hitters, which is really impactful and really important.
This is a great setup guy for the Rangers. It really is, especially when you take into consideration the other guys that they added. Late game against the Rangers is not going to be easy against both sides, lefty or righty. It's not going to be easy. So
yeah, just to put it into perspective too, before we get into the next guy, Danny Coulomb has a 5-pitch mix. 3 of those pitches have a batting average under $188. He's absolutely filthy. If you want to go and look at some of his pitches that he was throwing last year with the Orioles, just gross stuff.
Yeah.
And he's just going to be a very impactful guy for the second half.
Yeah, 100%. 100% agree. Twins dealt another guy. And this one was by far the biggest surprise of the trade deadline for me. The Houston Astros went out and reunited with shortstop Carlos Correa. Now, he won't be playing shortstop for him. He'll be over there at third base, which is good considering Isaac Paredes just went down. But Carlos Correa comes in, and, I mean, right away, there's not a better fit in terms of trade. There's not a better fit. I expect Carlos Correa to just surge as soon as he gets back in Houston. His first game back is going to be must-watch baseball. The ovation he's going to get from the crowd is going to.
Carlos Correa will homer in his first game back. There is zero doubt about it.
All right, we're about like almost 43 minutes into recording this episode, so we'll clip that up, and hopefully we see him go deep in his first game back with the Astros. But I mean, what's not to like about this? I think I wrote down he hit like 26 homers his last season with the Astros. I would love to see him just turn it up to another level in the second half now, which I bet he will. And when they get to the postseason, this is not going to be a lineup I want to face at all anymore.
Not even close. Carlos Correa last year in 367 PAs had a 905 OPS and had, I think it was like close to 4 WAR. He was not even one of the best shortstops. He was one of the best players in baseball last year when he was kind of healthy. Him going back to Houston, I know like kind of a down year this year. The guy is so talented. And like you said, there couldn't have been a better trade fit. Like he's already won championships there. He's one of the best postseason hitters of all time too, especially playing in that ballpark. I'm not going to want to face the Astros. Like
their lineup is ridiculous now. And think about all the injuries they have too. I'm going to read you their injuries before I read you their lineup. On their IL, Brendan Rodgers, Isaac Paredes, Jeremy Pena, Zach DeCenzo, Yordan Alvarez, Jake Myers, just to name the hitters. And then you move up to the actual lineup where you've got Altuve, Jesus Sanchez, Carlos Correa, Victor Carantini, who's been really good this year.
Great as a backup pitcher.
Cam Smith, Yanner Diaz, Jacob Melton, who I love, by the way, in the outfield, and then Mauricio Dubon. But then you hit their bench, and then you've got Bryce Matthews, who's shown some really great talent so far since coming
2 home run game against Arizona.
He's been great. And then Ramon Urias for some great depth as well. I don't hate having guys like Chas McCormick, Taylor Trammell, and Zach Short on the bench as well. And then hopefully you are going to get some more guys back. This team, top to bottom, both on the pitching staff and in the lineup, is just gross. And, I mean, they got a lot better in this deadline.
Yeah, not a lot of teams are going to say, hey, we lost Kyle Tucker and are, like, playing better baseball. It doesn't make sense.
They lost, Kyle Tucker, they lost Carlos Correa, and then they lost Alex Bregman. You may have your backs against the wall in a certain position group. What do? You go back and you get all reliable Carlos Correa. That was my favorite move of the deadline, I think. And that's coming from a Yankee fan. Like that's probably the worst move that I could have seen all deadline, and it was my favorite, I think.
You saw me react to it live when we were just making the notes because I didn't see a lot of the trades. I was like, holy shit. I know he was like rumored and it was kind of like stirring
We
up
just didn't buy into it
yesterday.
too much.
No, I don't know. I mean, God, if there's any Twins fans watching, I mean, Jesus,
Do they
like
have a team to field out for like the second half? I saw Will tweet that.
there
I
was a
don't know
there
if
was
he
a
did.
player that said, like, why would you want to stay here if this is what you're going to do? They moved literally everyone.
But I
Johan Duran and
respect
Griffin
it.
Jacks, by the way, were like, guys, like, no one was like, yeah, they're going to be rumored. It was like kind of the Class A thing. They have years of control. They're both very young and very gross. They moved them. They moved Correa. They moved Danny Coulomb. They moved Willie Castro. Like, they moved almost everyone. They
Yeah.
moved Chris Paddock, who will get into, like, they moved a lot of their important pieces.
Dude, I mean, they moved everybody. Like,
Literally.
besides Joe Ryan, I don't think there's a single piece that I thought that they were going to deal that they held on to. Like,
he's not going to be there for that much longer either.
We knew Buxton wasn't going anywhere, so knew that was happening. But now we get back to the Yankees, who I wasn't expecting this at all because I thought Bird wasn't going anywhere, but he ended up going to the Yankees, and I'm really happy that they got the job done. His expected numbers are much better than the actual numbers that he's put up in cores, and I think bottom line, that's what you just got to look for. Really good breaking stuff. I'm really, really excited to see what Matt Blake can do with this guy. Plays with a lot of passion too, and I think when you're getting a guy and throwing him into the biggest market in baseball, that is the Bronx and the New York Yankees, you're getting a dog and a competitor, and I think that is going to be a very just good breath of fresh air for the bullpen, in all honesty. The return, Ben Shields, solid left-handed pitcher, has some really, really good stuff, but I'm a little more upset to see Rock Riggio go. It was going to be hard to get him up in a spot where he could actually play, obviously, with Jazz there and now Ryan McMahon. So I really like seeing this guy go to Coors, especially because he hits the crap out of the baseball. This prospect returned from injury this year, and Sense has been really good. I believe the OPS is over like 930 or something. So really good piece. I mean, we fed the Rockies a couple really good prospects in this deadline. But Ethan, I don't know if you got any other things to say on that thought, but I thought really fair trade for both sides, in all honesty.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Bird's numbers, like 3 weeks ago, they were like miles better. I think he had like a sub 1.5 ERA. He was one of the best relievers in baseball, and he's kind of faltered. But the main thing that Toby and I really love is he's going out of course. Like, you could look at all the expected numbers, all the stuff. One, the arsenal is gross if you look at it. Sweeper's getting like close, like 14 inches of sweep. The sinker is like a changeup shape. It's very east to west arsenal. All the expected numbers are better. He has a very solid ground ball rate, limits barrels, K rate that's going to hover around 27% this year. Good whiff, limits hard contact in general. The Yankees did such a good job, and I know we talked about it our last episode, and it was like, wow, like the Yankees really need to get three or four bullpen arms. Bro, they actually did it, and all of them have been really good this year. So kudos to you guys, because you guys had a fantastic deadline.
Not used to it, really not used to it at all. And honestly, kudos to the Rockies for trying to make themselves better in the future with this deadline. Their bats in the farm now got guys like Charlie Condon, Cole Carrig, Robert Galaz, and now they added freaking Rock Riggio to that already has Zach Veen, Ryan Ritter, Kyle Carros. I mean, some great bats here. And I mean, Riggio's going to be a star in Coors. I really do believe that. I'm sad to see him go, as I am a lot of these prospects. You know, I'm a prospect hugger. But now another guy who played with the Orioles, who had a really good end to his Orioles tenure, was Cedric Mullins, as he got moved over to the New York Mets. And I love this move for the Mets, and I love it for Mullins as well. A guy who seems to always kind of turn it up when the lights are brightest. We saw him make one of the best catches I've seen all year on that home run.
Oh, dude, that was insane.
He left many like holes in that wall from his spikes on that catch, and the call on it too was awesome. I was watching that game live, and they were so shocked that he pulled it back in. Those announcers were so appreciative for just both O'Hearn and Mullins for what they were doing in their final games as an Oriole. I think that's bottom line what you're getting out of Mullins when he goes to New York. You're getting an everyday center fielder, gives you great defense, can hit the ball pretty damn well. And we saw him start the year out really well. He's been finding it in the month of July. I think he's going to turn it up in the remaining months of the season with the Mets. I don't know if you feel the same way or not.
Dude, look at the line. I don't even need to look at anything else. This is a guy that was this switch hitter and then just went to hitting from the left side and broke out in, I think, 2022. We haven't really seen kind of the same production But I mean, last season, 18 bombs, 32 RBIs with a 700 plus OPS. You'll take that any day of the week while playing Gold Glove level defense. I mean, Toby and I just saw the catch the other day. It was absolutely fantastic. He's going to be in a lineup with Pete Alonso, Juan Soto, all of these, Francisco Lindor, all of these very, very solid pieces. And just the lineup protection that he's going to have, he doesn't need to be that very, very, I guess, impactful player like he was with Baltimore. Just get on base, play elite defense in center field. That's all they really ask for him. I think Cedric Mullins could have a fantastic second half with the New York Mets.
I think he will. And I mean, it's just because you look from the lineup top to bottom, there's not a single name that even the casual baseball fan would look at and not know. Maybe Ronnie Mauricio, but if you watch, two Mets games, you're going to see Mauricio making an impact on the baseball on either the defensive side or the offensive end. He's been really fun to watch since coming back up. And I mean, I love seeing what he does on a day-to-day basis. And then you've got guys at the top like Lindor, Soto, Pete Alonso. You throw a really solid player, a veteran, and a Cedric Mullins in there. I love that get. And honestly, I prefer that over a guy like Luis Robert at this point. I think that, that would be a bit more of a question mark. I think you kind of know what you're getting from a guy like Cedric Mullins, and he costed them way less. So I love it.
Cedric Mullins is hitting the ball harder than he has in his career, and it's the hardest since 2021. I love the move, and I think the ballpark too. I think it's going to fit it very well. I love everything about it.
The biggest thing is just going to be staying healthy.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think we're going to see a 2022 season again. I think that's probably going to be the peak for him. But at the same time, I just think the lineup protection in general is going to be the thing for me. Like, that lineup is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I completely agree. But we're keeping it moving here. The Padres, they acquired a catcher in Freddie Fermin from the Kansas City Royals, and they've got right-hander Ryan Bergert in the return. I was asleep for this one, Ethan. I'm not going to lie. So I need to know what you thought about this one.
I mean, I wanted the Rays to get Fermin this offseason just because of how good the defense was. Elite pop time, pretty good blocker. Framing is like a little bit above league average. Sneaky pop too, but I think it's a solid move. And the Padres desperately need catching help. I mean, oh my gosh, you're rolling out Martín Maldonado out there like most of the time. Like,
that's been a painful watch, bro. It's been a painful watch.
I mean, Martín Maldonado has just been like, I think he had the worst with the Astros. It was the worst qualified batting average, but he had the best ERA in baseball when behind the plate. So like, you know what you're kind of getting with him. But for me, a little bit more pop defensively. I mean, I haven't really looked at Maldonado's defensive measures. I'm not going to look at them right now, but I'm assuming they've declined a little bit. But yeah, I think Fermin's a solid option. He's still 30 years old, and we've seen some pop in the bat over the last, couple of years, and he's going to hit for average, which is solid for a catcher too. And yeah, he's K'ing sub 18% of the time. So I like the move a lot.
Yeah. Like you said, they needed catching help badly. You remember when Maldonado was like the trend to vote for him to get in the All-Star game?
Oh my gosh.
It's 100 batting average.
Yeah. Really quick. I'm going to mention for 2 seconds. That game that we talked about, the Reds being down 11-3, they just had 8 straight hits and scored 8 runs. And it's now tied 11-11 against the Braves.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Key Brian Hayes is already doing wonders on his new team.
You got to love the dog days of summer, man.
You have to.
Gotta love
We're going to your Yankees again, man. And like, I mean, you could kind of take it away with this one because I wanted the Rays to get David Bednar, but your Yankees again swooped up and got a guy that has a 2.37 ERA over his last 38 innings.
Dude, I'm so mad because I don't know what happened. I got hit with like just a wave of exhaustion like at 2 p.m. and I had to take like just a quick 20-minute nap. Alarm goes off, snooze it, look at my phone, see David Bednar gets traded to the Yankees, and I was so just I hated myself for even going to sleep for a little bit because you can't do that during the trade deadline, man. And I learned the hard way. Yankees got a guy. David Bednar was I think the only trade deadline prediction today that I got right. But I love the trade. This guy is going to obviously take that closer role from us, takes a lot of pressure off of Luke Weaver and Devin Williams, which I hope will allow them to at least be a little bit better. I don't really love getting rid of a guy like Rafael Flores, who I initially heard was untouchable from the Yankees, but he now slots in as the 11th overall prospect on MLB Pipeline for the Pirates, and he's been really good. I mean, he's said to be a pro-ready catcher already, and he's got an 826 OPS between a couple levels this year. Currently will be in AAA Indianapolis. I expect him to be up pretty soon, and I thought it was a fair return for him. I don't know if you have any other thoughts about Bednar, but I think this is an absolute slam dunk for him, especially given the fact that they really needed a guy who could go in and close games.
Yeah, I mean, the fastball velo's back. I mean, he had a really bad year last year, and it, like, just to put it kind of how it is, not even lightly, I mean, he sucked. I mean, he was 3-8, 5.77 ERA. The expected numbers weren't that good. K rate was way down. Complete opposite this year. Top 5% in K rate. Fastball is getting back up there, 97.1, which is fantastic. 220 XBA, 3.09 expected ERA. So it's not even like there's a huge regression factor for them. The only thing that scares me about Bednar and any reliever that the Yankees get that doesn't have this, his ground ball rate is like slightly below league average. So if he's able to improve it a little bit, maybe they mix him a little bit differently because of the stadium situations and some of the teams that they're facing. But that's the only thing that scares me about Bednar is he's susceptible to giving up some home runs and some fly balls.
Yeah, I mean, I love the curveball a lot. Obviously, it's hard not to love a pitch that gets hitters working a batting average of less than 200 on it. But yeah, he's got to raise that ground ball percentage a little bit because you're not always going to get away with the swing and miss. So we'll see if he's able to improve upon that. I think it's safe to say he'll improve upon the strikeout numbers, what more he can. He's already 95th percentile for K rate. So I love it. I love this move. Pissed that I was asleep for it, but nonetheless, I was awake for all the other moves. So win-win or win-lose maybe.
Win-lose for sure.
Definitely a lose in there. Now we're moving over to the defending champions. The Dodgers went out and honestly, they got a really solid move here in Brock Stewart from, again, the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, I mean, Twins sold absolutely everyone. Brock Stewart's profile is gross. I mean, you would think that a guy that has a 2.38 ERA over 34 innings would have a worse expected ERA. It's actually better. Brock Stewart should be doing better than what he's doing right now. 2.25 expected ERA, 1.83 batting average against, average EV, top 8%, above average, extremely actually above average in whiff rate and K rate, limits barrels, limits hard hits. I kind of love everything about this. He's still 33 years old. I don't know exactly what the control aspect with Brock Stewart is, but this is a guy that a lot of teams were eyeing at, and another guy that I wanted the Rays to pick up too. But the Dodgers add another insane bullpen piece, and I mean, there's the Dodgers pitching lab is kind of unmatched at this point too. So I mean, Brock Stewart's just going to be an absolute demon for the Dodgers.
Oh, I absolutely agree, and I really like this move honestly because his advanced profile is really solid as well. I tweeted about this earlier. 98th percentile in xERA and X batting average, 92nd in average exit velo, 93rd in whiff percentage, 89th in K percentage, 92nd in barrel percentage, and 91st in hard hit rate. Ethan, his three most used pitches all hold opponents to a batting average against of 200 or lower.
Dude, I'm just looking at it right now. He's throwing his fastball 55, basically 55. 55% of the time at 54.8%. He has a 34% whiff rate on his fastball. Yeah. That is gross. Anything like over 26 to 27% is diabolical. RPMs get up to 2,600, which is fantastic. Puts guys away. A $195 on the fastball with a 180 XBA, a slug under 300. When you're throwing the heater 55% of the time, and it's doing results like that, I mean, and Brock Stewart's fastball is like just insane right now.
Dude, he's got, like, I'm looking at it now, he's got a delivery that's like really tough to read out of the hand. Like, it just
25-degree arm angle, and I mean, he could just drop the sweeper on you that gets over 16 inches of horizontal break. I mean, you'll kind of take that any day of the week if you're the Dodgers.
Like, and I mean, when I talk about these guys, these pitchers, I mean, I obviously am not as informed in the mechanics as I should be, but I mean, this ball just zips out of the wrist. You don't really see it other than that. Like,
no, I mean, it's extremely deceptive.
Like, I mean, just go watch Brock Stewart pitch once he gets into the Dodgers clubhouse, because he is honestly really fun. And this was a name that I didn't expect to really be breaking down too much. A lot to like with him. So I love the move from the Dodgers. But we move over to the Philadelphia Phillies now. We keep going across the country here. Uh, they went out and got Harrison Bader, and we thought they maybe would be in the Luis Robert conversation. Same with like a guy like Cedric Mullins, but they went out and they got Bader, and I honestly really like the move. Bader provides you a great glove, postseason experience. He's been in a big market before, been kind of everywhere, and I really like what I think he's going to bring to this Philly clubhouse. Fun guy. I think he'll get along really nicely with these guys in Philly. I don't know, just right away seems like a really good fit. I don't know if you agree or disagree with that. I've honestly seen this move pretty split.
I mean, I don't think it's split at all. One, Harrison Bader fucking kills the Rays. I love Harrison Bader, the player. I can't stand this guy when he plays the Rays. Absolutely demolishes us. We saw what he did against Cleveland in the postseason with you guys. He went absolutely nuclear. And this is a guy that crushes left-handed pitching. He's elite in the outfield still. I know that they have, I think they have Rojas out there, still like patrolling center at some point, like a defensive versatility position.
Which he's a great defender. So, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Plus bat, he's getting on base a lot. Actually, he's getting on base a shit ton more than he ever has over the last 3 to 4 years. OPS is around 780. Harrison Bader, I think, is still a very solid player. I think he's going to show up in the postseason. And that place in October, holy shit, it gets rocking. I think Harrison Bader is a perfect fit for the Phillies. And he's a great clubhouse guy, too.
His hair, his just flow. I mean, does that not fit the Phillies? Like
him, Harper, Schwarber, just like grindy, solid baseball players. Like, yeah, I love the fit. That was something that one of my buddies at work told me, that Harrison Bader, because he was a little bit delayed on the Mason Miller stuff, but he was like, Harrison Bader went to the Phillies. It's like, dude, that is a fantastic pickup for them.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it wasn't Luis Robert, but I still think it was a great fit. And again, they didn't end up giving up a guy like Justin Crawford or Aiden Miller, which I think would have been really, really rare to see. But, I mean, they still kept him. But let's keep it going here to the Detroit Tigers, who finalized a deal for Kyle Finnegan from the Washington Nationals. Ethan, I'm going to let you start out with this one because you said Finnegan was going to be on the move a while ago. And I know you're very high on him, and I want to give you a chance to kind of break down this trade a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what he's kind of done with the Nationals in his career, and I think with a few other teams as well. But the stuff is absolutely diabolical. I think this is a guy that's going to the Tigers bullpen that I think we mentioned it 2 shows ago. The Tigers at one point were 58-0. 58-0 when leading after 8 innings. And this isn't a team that's going to roll out the same kind of guy out there every single time. They're going to roll out multiple different, I guess, closers or multiple different relievers, something that the Rays and I think the Dodgers were doing a few years ago too. But the stuff is just absolutely gross. Gyro slider, solid splitter, pretty solid, like ride run fastball. Gets around 17 inches of IVB, averages 96.2, elite, borderline at limiting hard hits, solid ground ball rate, gets, plus extension. Kyle Finnegan is a guy I think near the deadline, if he's going to get maybe even moved next season. This is a guy that you kind of always want on your team, and especially pitching in Comerica, that's going to benefit him a lot too. So I think this is a great move. I like the arsenal. I like what he's done in his career track record wise. And this is just a really solid addition for the Tigers.
I agree. Looking at the expected ERA, I expect him to come over and be really good. And before we get into this next trade here, just want to thank the over 1,000 people that are currently watching and tuning into this stream for being gone for almost 2 weeks and then coming back and just doing a show tonight. We didn't know how the engagement would be, but I mean, it's been phenomenal so far through it. And we're just over halfway through the trades here. We're pretty much almost done, honestly. Not too many left. About like probably almost 3/4.
Honestly, we still have a pretty.
We've dealt with a bulk of them, though. We've dealt with a bulk of them, but we're just getting to some of the really good ones because this one, I don't know if there was a bigger trade than this, Ethan. I mean, Correa.
There wasn't. There was
up there.
No.
This
not even close in my opinion.
Biggest package, and was the most insane trade by far today. The Padres went out, and they paid the price for Mason Miller and JP Sears from the no longer Oakland, the Sacramento Athletics. What'd they give up, Ethan? 3 pitching prospects. And not only that, they give up the number 3 prospect in baseball in Leo DeVries. A closer for Leo DeVries and 3 arms. Is that like a gross overpay or I mean?
Well, you have your closer of the future.
Yeah.
I will say that. I love Leo DeVries. I think he is so good. I'm also just not as high as other people are on him, to be completely honest. I think it's 8 bombs, 8 stolen bases, switch hitter, elite plate discipline and contact rates for his age, by the way. And I think his last home run was like 106 miles an hour at 18 years old. You'll take that any day of the week. I think it was pretty much an overpay, in my opinion. By the way, if the Padres don't win this year or next year, AJ Preller is like totally on the hot seat. They moved, I think it was like what, 12 top 30 prospects or some shit like that this deadline.
Dude, they moved a lot, and they kept Ethan Salas, which I would have honestly rather you thrown Ethan Salas their way than Leo DeVries.
I would have thrown Ethan Salas in there. I'm not super high.
I bet they tried, honestly. I bet they tried, and they were like, no,
they probably tried.
We got Bangaliers, like we're good.
Yeah, and also too, Braden Nett was one of my favorite pitching prospects. Go and look at him facing Sebastian Walcott. This guy, I think, is like Sebastian Walcott. I don't think has gotten a hit off of Nett, and I think he struck out 7 times in 10 at bats. He's had, I think, 2 games this year where he struck out 2 to 3 times against him in a game.
Yeah.
And just the other relievers that they got, just absolutely electric fastball arms. The trade was super shocking. It was kind of reported last night that they were in talks, and then they were in talks with the Astros, and then it lasted like 20 minutes with something that wasn't Mason Miller related. And then they were like, fuck it, we're going to go and get Mason Miller. Like it's
Preller, man.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't, a lot of people have been changing their profile pictures today. It's AJ Preller, and it says fuck those prospects, because my God, he moved a lot of them. They got Ramon Laureano, they got O'Hearn, they got Fermin, they got Mason Miller. Like, dude, that bullpen with Estrada, Mason Miller, Jason Adam, like with Robert Suarez, Adrian Morejon, like, dude, that is insane. That's like 5 dudes that literally on any other team would probably be your number 1 reliever. They have not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. They have fucking 5 guys like that. And I mean, Mason Miller is just unbelievable. 180 XBA. He's averaging, not topping, he's averaging 101.1. It's like okay. 42% whiff rate with a K rate approaching fucking 40, dude. I hope Leo DeVries works out, and I really think he will. But it's one of those things where, like, you know exactly what you're getting with Mason Miller. So I think that alone, in terms of the right now value, is better. But I mean, Leo DeVries is still one of the most simply talented 18-year-olds we've seen in recent memory. But I mean, the Padres did not sit on their hands like the Braves did, and they were fantastic this deadline.
Yeah, they were phenomenal, and it goes to show how good at drafting they are too. Because you look at the guys they sent to the Orioles, Victor Figueroa, one of my favorite prospects in their system now is in Baltimore. Really fun power upside with him as a first baseman with outfield versatility, being 6'5", 240. He was an 18th rounder. Now the rest of the guys that they traded, 2nd to 4th round picks usually, but they draft really well, and they still hung on to Ethan Salas. They hung on to Cash Mayfield. Don't know if they're going to hang on to them through next deadline. We'll see if that happens, but
no.
They're going all in on the big league club, man, and I have zero issue with that because they're a fun team to watch every single
day. And it's not even like a disrespect to Leo DeVries at all, because we both love him and we've talked about him a lot. There is a very solid possibility that there is another Leo DeVries in the Padres system in like fucking 2 to 3 years. This team is so good at international scouting. It's insane. And even acquiring just talent in the draft. Jackson Merrill. Dude, they shipped James Shields for fucking Fernando Tatis Jr. I have zero doubt that the Padres are going to have another up-and-coming outfielder or shortstop prospect. That is unbelievable, and that is around 18 to 20 years old. So I understand it hurts now, and honestly, I think it's still kind of shocking because of the value that they did give up, because the future value could be like, holy shit, we really gave this up for Mason Miller. Granted, he's so elite, but there's a very real possibility that the Padres in 2 to 3 years have another one of these prospects because they have had one of these guys almost every single season over the last, I think honestly, since Preller's been kind of in charge of kind of that operation. They scout very, very well. I have no doubt that they will have another guy like that.
Yeah, I would keep an eye closely on David Coronil, someone that they signed in the international free agent pool this year after missing out on Roki Sasaki. So I would obviously look for them this next up and coming international free agent pool to go out there and get a really strong guy, like you mentioned, that is like the Salas and DeVries of the world. When they don't have a guy that they miss out on, like Roki Sasaki, that's typically what they go out and do. I mean, the 2 straight years before Sasaki came in, they got Salas and DeVries. So
dodged a bullet with Sasaki, by the way.
So. Yeah, and I do like what Coronil provides for him. I mean, a really interesting switch hitting shortstop prospect that's only 17 years old in the DSL. So we'll see if his frame can fill out a little more. He's 6'3", 162. I'd like to see him add some more size there, but really interesting tools and really interesting frame there that they get. From currently their number 9 prospect too. We'll see if he rises up further here into their top 5 maybe after these guys that just went to the Orioles get shipped out of their top 30. Man, that took a long time to get through that one, but rightfully so.
Dude, that was a fucking shock of the deadline. It was ridiculous.
Now we move into one where I wasn't as shocked by this because I saw the rumors of these two teams talking about this deal. Shane Bieber, he went to the Toronto Blue Jays for their number 5 prospect in Cal Steven, a guy that I think is unbelievable.
Gave up a fucking demon to get Shane Bieber. Granted, Shane Bieber's last rehab start, he looked gross.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
The Blue Jays are going all fucking in. I absolutely love it. This is a team that hasn't really shown it. Honestly, in the last, you could say decade. When have the Blue Jays really been, this good? It was, the Josh Donaldson era, the Edwin Encarnacion era. I think I can't even think of the starter that was going out there and eating innings for them. It was like Drew Hutchinson era. If you're a Blue Jays fan, you got to be fucking pumped up because this is a huge move. And like we just said, his last rehab start, he looked really good.
Yeah, unbelievably good. And while you give up Cal Steven in that trade, which I hope I'm saying that name right, I don't know if I am or not. 6'4", 215 from the right side. Unbelievable fastball, a great slider and changeup to pair with that, and then an average curveball that will develop more with the Guardians pitching lab.
He's going to be so good.
He's going to be gross. They are going to put everything into this kid, and he's only 22 years old. So
I will say, in terms of the Guardians aspect, that was probably the fastest agree probably of the trade deadline. Shane Bieber was a guy that they were probably going to move, especially with the injury history, and then they offer you this demon. It was probably, yeah, we'll take him. Drop the call. Mm-hmm. That's probably what happened because you're giving up a very, very solid prospect. And I think he's averaging 20 inches of IVB on the fastball. The guy is nasty.
He's got good stuff, to put it simply. I'm excited to see what he does because right now currently has a 2026 ETA. So maybe we could get to see him do something special.
He'll be up next year. Yeah. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Let's keep it moving here. I was asleep for this one, Ethan, but you weren't, luckily. You actually saw this one happen in live time. I woke up around 2 a.m., in a cold sweat, knowing that if I looked at my phone, I'd have at least 20 or 30 Twitter notifications that a trade happened that I missed. Eugenio Suarez was that guy, and I had a feeling it was going to be him. But we got another team reuniting with an old player that they once had, and the Seattle Mariners went out, and they just replaced their corner infield, and they got Eugenio Suarez and Josh Naylor. But we're here to talk about Suarez, who honestly netted a really, mid-return for the Diamondbacks, I felt like.
I mean, I thought the return would have been way more. I think everyone kind of expected that. But
I agree, Saunders.
Diamondbacks and Twins are by far the biggest loser. Dude,
actually, I don't know if the Twins are necessarily a loser. They just had a strategy going into this.
Oh, I mean, I like the Taj thing just because he has control. They could probably work with him. I'll say one thing. I think the fucking Braves are the biggest losers, bro.
They make a single move.
How do you not move? How do you not move any of kind of the top guys that are I don't think. I mean, still kind of reacting to life. Marcell Ozuna was not moved. I don't know how he was not moved. The Padres seemed like a fantastic fit for him. I don't know. I think they kind of sat on their hands. The packages for some of this deadline were crazy. The Iggy package would have been very solid. The Bummer package would have been pretty solid. And I know that the Braves are going to be very competitive next year. They're going to be fantastic next year, to be quite honest with you. So that's probably why they kept some of them. But like Marcell Ozuna, other than last week, has been like pretty bad. I think he had to take advantage of something like that. I think you could throw the Braves in there as one of the biggest losers of the deadline.
Hey man, they got Jim Jarvis. That wasn't pushing the needle forward for you.
Oh, I didn't know he had they couldn't move Ozuna. I didn't know that.
Still, I know the Padres still being rumored. Like, I mean, they're big. They're big.
I know the Padres were heavily interested in Marcell Ozuna at the time. So,
dude, their big deadline move was getting Carlos Carrasco.
Dude, shout out Yankees legend Carlos Carrasco.
Hey man, for like maybe like a start, he wasn't awful. Respect.
Yeah, this Suarez package, just like it was supposed to be like 2 top 100s and then like a solid, I guess, MLB ready player. Dude, Eugenio Suarez, like 2 days ago over his last 162 games, 54 bombs with 138 RBIs. The only better run producer in baseball over that time is fucking Aaron Judge, dude. And I think
no, I'm just kidding, but around there,
dude. Kurtz is going to be on there very soon. And shout out the Braves. Actually, they ended up not choking the 11-3 deficit, and they ended up winning 12-11. But Eugenio Suarez, you're getting one of the best run producers in baseball. He's been the 9th most valuable player over the last year in terms of FWAR. The Mariners are going all in. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I love when the Mariners are going all in, trying to actually like make it to the postseason. Let's be honest, there's not a more fun team to watch in baseball trying to make a postseason push. Fans, team, everything. Padres inquired about my headset. I said at least it would take at least a top 30 prospect. I asked for Cash Mayfield, and they didn't want that. So,
I heard you were asking about Leo DeVries, but I don't think they were interested in that much.
I knew they were going after Mason Miller, so I tried getting DeVries before they did. But I guess my headset doesn't have the same upside and ceiling that Mason Miller can provide for a postseason push. So,
oh, that's awesome, bro!
That was the best comment.
Oh my god, that was a fucking great job. That was unbelievable.
Let's talk about this trade now for the Boston Red Sox. That I'm honestly more excited for the team that got the return.
Oh, way more excited.
Went to the Boston Red Sox in exchange for Blaze Jordan from the Boston Red Sox. And dude, I mean, I could not be more excited for a kid than I am in Blaze Jordan. I mean, a change of scenery that will undoubtedly help and work wonders for him. Not really anywhere.
Dude, Blaze Jordan was hitting 500-foot home runs at fucking 14 years old.
Yeah, the kid can play baseball. Straight up can play baseball.
I think the WRC Plus is over 130 this year. The power numbers have been very solid. And granted, obviously the Red Sox didn't see a future with him. I just like, dude, the Red Sox deadline was just like not good. I'm sorry, I don't think it was that good.
Really underwhelming.
I thought Sandy would have been a great fit. And honestly, I think I told you, and I think you agreed as well. We kind of just were on the same, I guess, headspace about it. I think he moves Sandy Alcantara next year because the value would, I think, be way more, especially if he dominates in the second half. But go out there and get like Dustin May. Like does Dustin May really put you over the edge? Like I could totally see him developing under Andrew Bailey with the East-West Arsenal and stuff like that. But just like a super disappointing deadline. And I think Blaze Jordan for that package is, I think, too much in my opinion. Like granted, he's not in your org philosophy over the next like future, but I think that's a lot to give up for Steven Matz.
Yeah, this is a really highly touted prospect. I don't think like people understand, like if Blaze would have just gone to college, I mean, he would have been probably a top 10 pick in the draft. Like he had that.
I mean, consensus. Upside. Yeah, I mean, like dude was literally hitting 500-foot home runs in Arlington when they played at Arlington.
Yeah, but a 140 WRC plus this season in the system with the Red Sox. I mean, he's going over to a really respectable organization in the St. Louis Cardinals with a great history. He's playing closer to home. St. Louis isn't crazy far from Mississippi, unless I'm wrong. That's way closer than it is to Boston. So I'm sure that's also going to help him out a little bit, being closer to like the central time zone there. But I'm really excited. I mean, a change of scenery, I think, is going to help this kid a lot. He's got every raw tool in the book that you could really want out of him. And I'm just excited to see him make his debut. He's really close to it. And I think that he's going to, honestly, when he gets his chance, be a star.
Dude, I'm like looking at his advanced profile right now too. Max EV 110 miles an hour, 90th percentile max EV, 105.8. He's only striking out 10.4% of the time. Well, I mean, holy shit.
Yep.
Whiff rate is very good, top 15%. Z swing and Z contact are great, and his swing strike rate is fantastic too. So he's not like swinging and missing in the strike zone. We talked about it for probably a couple minutes now already. We haven't really even mentioned Steven Matson. I'm not really going to mention him. Sorry. I think this is a great move for the Cardinals. Fantastic move.
Yeah, I mean, cool that the Red Sox got somebody, but I mean, I'm more excited for the return that the Cardinals got there. Moving down, another depth piece here for the Astros as they added Ramon Urias. I like this move a lot as just a bench piece. He's actually heating up at the plate a lot in the month of July. Not in the month of July, in the second half. I think he's played like 9 games post All-Star break, and they've been really good. I think he's hit a pair of homers in that time. I don't know. I tweeted about it last night, so if anybody saw that, appreciate it. But that post actually did pretty good. So clearly people like the Ramon Urias trade. I don't know if you've got any thoughts about it. I honestly really liked it for him, and especially since it wasn't the only thing that they went out and did.
Yeah, I like it. Just like solid depth, very good defender, can kind of play all over the infield. And this is another guy like Harrison Bader. Ramon Urias has fucking killed the Rays for the last like 2 or 3 years. Get him out of the division.
Get him out of there.
Yeah, get him out of there. But yeah, I think it's solid depth. He's a good defender. He's had some decent pop in his career too. So I mean, especially the Astros development has been really good, especially at the MLB level. So I like it.
Yeah, I think he's going to continue to keep being a hot hitter. Now we got to go to a pitcher who's hopefully going to look to limit hot hitters, and that's Zach Littell, heading over to what's a gauntlet right now, the NL Central. It's going to the Cincinnati Reds. Ethan, you knew Zach Littell was kind of going to get moved here at some point, but what do you think about this move here to the Reds?
Lowest walks per 9 in baseball. The stuff isn't going to stand out. And I was so sick and tired of people going, like Zach Littell's not going to net a good return. I mean, bro, look who we got. Granted, like we traded with the Dodgers and kind of stuff like that. Dude, Zach Littell over the last 2 years, 3.63 ERA, 3.58 ERA. He's going to pitch 2 consecutive seasons at this point, unless he gets hurt, of over 150 plus innings. That place is a bandbox. I think this is a move that the Rays did a fantastic job at, especially since like Brady Singer with the Reds, like really hasn't been that good either. The ballpark regression, I think, is going to be there. And also to an extent, I'm not really trusting Zach Littell in a playoff atmosphere, in a playoff game. I don't think you would really either.
No.
The profile doesn't really stand out. He gets a lot of chase, and the command is insane. So even if the mix isn't necessarily the best, this is a guy that's going to be able to command all the pitches within the strike zone and exactly where he wants to throw them. And I mean, I hope he works out for the Reds because, dude, Zach Littell was such a good pickup for the Rays. This guy was getting passed around like a blunt and then literally turned into a very, very solid reliever with us. So, or very solid starter, excuse me. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but Zach Littell had some great value with us. And the profile, I mean, we got a guy that literally has the same exact profile as Zach Littell that we actually acquired from the Reds and pitched a little bit in the Red Sox org. But yeah, I love Zach Littell. I love what he did for us. Great guy. And I think he's going to fit great in that Reds clubhouse too.
Yeah. I like you said, I don't know if I'd trust him there in a playoff game, but I think he'll
I'm not
innings, do his job. Another pitcher gets moved here. Michael Soroka went from the Nationals over to the Cubs. You know, I really don't hate this trade at all. Soroka was a guy I expected to get moved. His xERA is at 3.32, and his actual ERA was 4.87. So there's a lot to like there and what he could bring to the potential of this rotation. I think he's just going to eat arms, just be a really solid guy for that.
I mean, the stuff is gross. Like, I think he could be pretty solid, to be completely honest. I mean, the Cubs, in terms of like kind of developing bullpen arms, have been pretty good, especially in the minors. But yeah, I think he's still only 27 years old. Like, I think this is a great move for them.
Yeah, I agree. I I didn't think it was some like, out of the park move, but I think for a team that needed to go out and get some guys that could eat some innings, I think it's great. And like you said, could be a pen guy too. I'm all for it. Now the Mets, going back to the Mets, so hopefully Saunders is still watching, but the Mets got Ryan Helsley. For a few prospects, they had to get rid of Jesus Baez, Nate Dome, two guys that I like. But overall, you're getting a great reliever in Ryan Helsley, a guy who has some of the best velocity in the sport. You're pairing that with the Mets pitching lab, already really great bullpen. I think that this is a really good move.
I think this is, dude, they are going to go into October with fucking Rogers, Ryan Helsley, and Edwin Diaz. Are you fucking kidding me? You're going from Mr. Rogers, who has a arm angle that is negative. Like, he has a negative arm angle because he throws submarine. Then you're going to Ryan Helsley with a gyro slider and a fastball that gets up to like 104, 105 miles an hour in his career. And then you go in and face Edwin Diaz in the ninth? Bro, like, dude, good fucking luck. This is a great move for the Mets. I didn't really expect him to go to the Mets. This kind of had like Dodgers all over it, in my opinion. But the fastball velo averaging 99.3 top 1%, elite whiff and chase rate, K percentage hovering around 26%, above average ground ball rate, limits barrels. Dude, the Mets bullpen, arguably right now, like going forward, is probably like one of the best in baseball. I mean, it's ridiculous. That 7-8-9 combo is diabolical.
Yeah, and I mean, it's hard to say the Mets didn't win the deadline. They did so much, and
dude,
they
Mets did
addressed
so
every
good.
area
So
they needed
fucking
to address. I would honestly agree with that. Where I'd say the Mets maybe are the winners. They used 6 players to get 2 high-end relievers to put in front of Edwin Diaz.
Yeah, and like, I will say though, I think a lot of those, like, dude, the Mets have so many solid pitching prospects too. And like, they didn't really move too many of they didn't really move a lot of the high guys in general. And even in terms of like the position player depth, they didn't really move anyone that important out of the crop either. So I think this is great. The Mets are in a win now window. And for all the people, the negative Mets fans saying Sleepy Stearns, like, dude, he fucking woke up and he delivered a great deadline.
Yeah, he did. I mean, we'll give our winner and I guess our loser to end off the show after we're done with going over the last trade. But man, it's hard to say the Mets didn't at least come close to winning it.
Jesus, yeah.
It's hard to say they didn't win it. The Phillies then, the trade before, they went out, made a big splash here. They got rid of Mick Abel and Eduardo Tait for Johan Duran. And man, I love this move. Just put all your chips on the table if you're Philly. I know they still have a lot of guys that they kept, but getting a closer like Duran, yeah, that'll play for them for sure.
Dude, he's gonna have so much aura pitching at Citizens Bank. Like, we can go into the advanced profile. Like, dude, could you imagine that guy just humming 100 miles an hour in a packed out 50,000 seat crowd and just absolutely dominating October? Oh my god, yeah. Duran doesn't make sense. Johan Duran is averaging 97.5 on his fucking splitter. He's throwing a splitter 97 miles an hour. It's like insane. And you would think that like the shape or anything wouldn't be good. Dude, it's disgusting. 14 inches of tail. Doesn't get a lot of induced vertical break too, so it's not like going to hang in the zone. Everything that he throws is diabolical. Barrel rate, 3%. He has approaching a 66% ground ball rate. Averaging 100.2 on the fastball. I think second best in baseball to Mason Miller. Top 13% whiff rate, top 20% chase rate, striking out close to 26% of the batters. The Phillies window is closing so fast at this rate. Me and you expected them to be so busy. Dombrowski did his thing. And dude, the Twins have to be very high on Mick Abel because I think the return for this was kind of lackluster. I thought Painter might have been included. By the way, Tait is gross. He's gonna be so good.
Really good.
But yeah, I thought Painter would have been a guy that like might have kind of headlined the package, especially with the control aspect that Duran has. I think I don't think it's quite as much as Jack's. I think it might be a year and a half. It's at least a year. And they didn't net like, dude, they got Leo DeVries, Braden Net, like they got all these guys in return. Like Taiit, I think was great. Like that was, I would say, probably the headline. And I think Mick Abel's stuff is great, but this like the command is not there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to develop there. The Twins are really good at it, so I have no doubt that he'll probably be solid. But I think the package, I mean, the Dodgers could have been all in on Durant at this point. Granted, the prospect capital they have too. So I think the package was lackluster.
Yeah, I was surprised to see, Abel in there, but not some other names like Moises Chaussee, maybe Seth Johnson, if they didn't want to go as high as Chaussee.
Justin Crawford.
I thought Keaton Anthony was going to be dealt for sure. I mean, he's been killing it, and there's not exactly room for him. He's in AAA right now. He's not going to go play first base over Bryce Harper. So, I mean, I thought a team was going to be really, really wanting him. But, dude, Philly's farm system still really well intact after that. They kept Miller, they kept Painter, they kept Crawford. They still have Arun Escobar, who I thought could have gotten moved as well. Gabriel Rincones is doing really solid. Shout out FAU. He's been great this season. I mean, I think he's got like over 10 home runs, maybe, if not more, or like just 10. But all guys that could have gone, and they got Mick Abel, and like you said, I think they must be really high on him. But a sneaky good reliever who got moved, and they got Bader. Don't hate on Bader.
Dude, I like the Bader move. Like
you guys got Cedric Mullins, Saunders. It's not like you guys like got Luis Robert and they got Harrison Bader. Like,
dude, if the Mets would have gotten Luis Robert, that would have been my favorite move of the deadline, bro. I wanted the Mets to get Luis Robert so fucking.
Was any part of you pissed off that like you put in all that work to like talk about how Luis Robert should get traded and then nothing happened?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. Honestly, I'm happy. Honestly, I'm pretty happy that he stayed with the White Sox because he's been so damn good over the last month and a half. And two, I don't think really a lot of people have been talking about. The White Sox have been pretty solid recently. A lot of the young guys are doing well. I think a lot of it has to do with Luis Robert. He's kind of turning into a veteran on that team, which is kind of crazy to say because he's still pretty young.
Yeah.
That's a guy that you want to keep around among this emerging young core, especially on the pitching front. Like, holy crap. You're going to have Noah Schultz. You're going to have Hagen Smith. You're going to have Drew Thorpe when he comes back. Like, they're going to have some dogs in the rotation. Dude, Montgomery's been really, really good. You have Kyle Teal. Luis Robert is going to be that guy that kind of like formidifies that team, gets them adjusted, and kind of has like that veteran role. So I would have loved him on the Mets, but I'm honestly happier he stayed with the White Sox.
Yeah. And keeping it moving here because we got about like 7 trades left here to go over. Caleb Ferguson from the Pirates went over to the Seattle Mariners. I love this move. I don't love Ferguson necessarily because, I've seen what he has done, especially with my Yanks. So, but beyond that, he's been unbelievable this year. 100th percentile in both hard hit rate and average exit velo.
He is the best soft contact pitcher in baseball among relievers. He's insane.
And he gets
I love it for the Mariners.
Ball contact at a pretty elite rate as well. He's going to just fit in perfectly in a division that has a lot of guys that hit the crap out of the baseball. So
yeah, we talked about the Dodgers pitching lab like 2 seconds ago. The Mariners lab with Caleb Ferguson, that 19.3% K rate is going to go way up.
Yep.
I love everything about this move, and the Mariners just super aggressive. I love it.
And talking about aggressive teams, man, we've been talking about the Mets all night. Tyler Rogers, I don't know if this is the last move from them we're going to talk about, but it is one of my favorite moves. Get Tyler Rogers from the San Francisco Giants, and you give up a pretty hefty price there in right-hander Jose Butto, outfield prospect Drew Gilbert, and Blade Tidwell. Not the most polished guys in the world. Butto's been getting a lot of reps with the big league club, and I think he'll really shine there with the Giants organization. Gilbert and Tidwell are definitely some question marks here. And
I'll be honest. I think Tidwell's the best part of the package. I think you could probably even slot him into the closer role. Like right now, this stuff is that good. I'm serious. I think Tidwell's nasty, bro. He's like up to 100 miles an hour, has some plus secondary stuff. I'm not high on Drew Gilbert. I don't know if you're high on Drew Gilbert.
I'm not, and it's because of what Saunders tells me on like a daily basis about the farm. And, shout out Angry Mike, a lot of what he tells me as well. They're all not really high on Drew Gilbert, and he's looking more and more like a quad A player than anything else.
I'm not in on Drew Gilbert. I think Budo, you could kind of see what you can get. He's had MLB reps. I don't really see it too much. The command's kind of been all over the place at times. He's kind of a 2-pitch guy. Tidwell, I think, could be a very good reliever, like high upside closer or just high end reliever. I think that's the headline of the trade, to be completely honest. I'm not high on Drew Gilbert, and Jose Budo, you kind of see what you can get with him.
Oh, I didn't even realize you guys got Everson Pereira in that Caballero deal.
We did.
Yeah, so that's solid. I like that. I like scenery for him. But let's keep it moving here. Wow, that's funny. Back to back. Tyler's brother Taylor got traded, but he got traded to Pittsburgh. Anything about that? I mean, is it even worth talking about a trade that someone went to Pittsburgh for? No, I agree. All right, let's move down. Cincinnati Reds acquired Ke'Bryan Hayes in a trade with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hayes, among one of the best defenders in all of baseball, not just at the third base position. He has 5 years of club control beyond this season, Ethan.
Dude,
I mean,
this was
that
my favorite.
Alone makes this one of my favorite. I mean, I'll let you break this down a little bit, but dude, both of us, one of our favorite trades of the entire deadline.
I mean, Ke'Bryan Hayes' offense has not been there for like the last 3 years, but granted, like we mentioned very early on, if some of you guys are still tuning in, thank you guys, by the way, for all the support on this. This has been unbelievable. This is a guy that has a 99 WRC plus at Great American Ballpark. He's played on the fucking Pirates. Toby and I, God, we love some of the players, but the ownership in the development there has been so piss poor. Get anyone out of there. Get Brian, like, dude, if Brian Reynolds leaves, Brian Reynolds is going to be immensely better once he leaves Pittsburgh.
That would make me so upset. I love seeing him on the Pirates.
I just do. Ke'Bryan Hayes is going to break out with the Reds. Like, I had him breaking out 2 years ago. He still stunk offensively, but this is a guy that is so elite defensively. He's playing, and I would say a better hitting lineup. I don't even think it's like, it just is a better hitting lineup. And yeah, I think the team control, the defensive versatility, obviously he's going to stay at third base, but just his premium glove there is just so impactful. And he's had decent hard hit rates in his career too. It was like top, I think one was top 15 and one was top 20%. So he's been able to show it. He's been great with the minor league hitting coaches too with Pittsburgh, just not at the major league level. It's so obvious he's going to go with the Reds. Get him out of Pittsburgh.
He's already
get him on a winning team. I love it. He already hit a home run tonight, which we covered. So I argue, other than obviously Griffin Jacks to the Rays, which was fucking insane. Still can't believe that happened. Ke'Bryan Hayes is my second favorite trade.
I don't hate that take at all, man. He makes just insane plays on like a day-to-day basis, and you get his OPS like over 700. You're talking about a really, really quality guy there.
Dude, easy. If he's a solid, let's say like a 101 WRC plus, I think his highest is around 100, like 100 to 101. 4-win player, like easily. This guy is gonna like rack up OAA and DRS like no one's business. So I love it. I love the team control, and I like the fit for the Reds. Good for them.
Do we take much time to talk about the random relievers that the Angels went out and got? Because like this was the most Angels deadline ever.
I like the Luis Garcia move. I think the Angels did. I mean, dude. I mean, they got Luis Garcia. They got Andrew Chafin. Like, dude, good for the fucking Angels, man. Like, they think that they're.
Too.
Yeah, I mean, I would have
doesn't do anything, but
I couldn't even really hide that. But I would have liked to see them get a starter. Like, dude, Luis Severino, it was like written on the fucking wall. Just like
he hates Sacramento. Like, he hates it so much.
Dude, but get him out. Get him out of Sacramento. Put him on the Angels. I mean, dude, look what they did. Actually, that was the opposite. That was the Astros that helped Kikuchi. But yeah, I think you get Severino out of there. I thought that was a guy that was definitely going to get moved this deadline, but he didn't. But yeah, Angels are going all in. I would say kind of all in. The offense is certainly there. Like, dude, Ohapi, Neto, Mike Trout, Shanuel, shout out FAU. Like, they've had some guys step up and break out this year. Fucking Joe Adell, Taylor Ward. Like, oh, shout out Joe Adell too. Like, next year he's in the Derby.
Has to be.
I love that the Angels. Oh yeah, Mr. Kurtz and Joe Adell will definitely be in the Derby next year.
Yeah, I'm not stopping that narrative. You guys are not off the hook with that, unfortunately. But cool to see the Angels trying to do some stuff. I'm very interested to see what Oswald Peraza could do for him because I've seen guys like Andrew Velasquez move from the Yankees and do, pretty solid for him at a period of time. But
Andrew Velasquez, bro.
shout out Squid.
Shout out Squid.
We've got 3 more trades here, Ethan, and one of them comes from my Yankees as they added some depth here in the outfield with Austin Slater from the Chicago White Sox. I really like this. He's a great bat. I believe against righties is where he excels. And
Lefties.
Lefties, is it? Okay,
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if I
lefties.
saw someone say righties, which is why I want to do. You know what? I'm going to pull up the splits now just so I'm not guessing anymore. But either way, Austin Slater provides you a really solid arm there in the outfield, 88th percentile there in arm strength. And
Austin Slater has a
yeah.
136 WRC plus against left-handed pitching. He is unplayable against righties. I think it's like a 125 WRC plus against lefties in his career. You don't start him. It's like kind of the Cabby thing. You don't start Cabby or Austin Slater against righties. Cabby and Austin Slater are always going to be in there against lefties. I mean, especially Slater. Like Slater crushes left-handed pitching over the course of his career.
His advanced profile is not necessarily qualified, but I love the hard hit metrics and the EV numbers. He barrels up the baseball quite a bit as well. Doesn't go oppo at all, but honestly, not a lot of right-handed hitters in Yankee Stadium are going to provide that for you. So I like it. I think this is great depth. And honestly, like I kind of mentioned, when you look at World Series teams and you look at what they've built, depth is what really gets them those World Series rings.
Yeah,
and
no, for sure.
A 32-year-old who has a great arm in the outfield, kills lefties. Sign me up. I'm all for it.
I like it. I like the move a lot.
Got another switch in clubhouse mid-game. Was it mid-game or was it mid-double header?
It was mid-double header, and then he pitched in the second game.
Mm-hmm. I think he racked up like 2 Ks in his first inning for him or something like that. Sir Anthony Dominguez has been a common deadline name being moved the last couple of years. He now finds himself moving from the Baltimore Orioles in division to the Toronto Blue Jays. And Ethan, his advanced profile is disgusting. I love this move for the Blue Jays.
Dude, Dominguez is fucking gross. When Dominguez was on the Phillies, he was like one of my favorite like underrated relievers, and then he just kind of turned into like a demon. So
yeah, and in all honesty, man, Blue Jays they gave up Watts Brown, a prospect I've highlighted once on my account before. I like that get back for him. I think that's a decent enough return. But Blue Jays got out and got a bullpen arm they need. So.
Dude, he has a fucking 52% whiff rate on his sweeper and a 52 whiff rate on his splitter, bro. Those pitches have held batters, each one of them, to a $115 batting average or less. This guy is fucking gross. He has one pitch with an EV over 90 miles an hour. His fastball average EV against 87, sweeper 84, splitter 85. It's phenomenal stuff. He averages 97.8, XBA of 208, whiff percentage 34.7%, K rate 32%. He has a 5-pitch mix as a reliever. That is gross. This was one of the best.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, dude, 50% whiff rate on 2 separate pitches when they're getting thrown around 20% of the time. It's not like he's getting a sweeper whiff rate of 52%, throwing it 3 or 4% of the time. He's throwing it 19% of the time. So Dominguez is filthy. 40% of his pitches that are coming to you, you're swinging and missing on. Yeah. There's not a lot of relievers you could say that about.
That's huge for Toronto, especially going into the postseason. Last trade on the show. Before we get into that, one more time, just want to say a huge, massive thank you to the over 1,350 people that have tuned into this stream live tonight. This has been a lot of fun, and expect at least, another show from us this weekend about something among the baseball season. Not a lot of really eventful stuff happening, Ethan, really until the postseason gets underway. So we'll have to come up with some fun show ideas, but this has been a really fun show, and going into almost the 2-hour mark, I'm just so thrilled that we got the engagement and the support that we got on this. So appreciative of it, not only on this show, but just the entire last couple of days, because I've been spamming the shit out of my account. So I appreciate everybody sticking with me. And for the final trade that we'll go over tonight, Detroit received Chris Paddock. and Randy Dobnak in exchange for Enrique Jimenez. Twins moved another guy.
Yeah, Randy Dobnak, I think, used to be an Uber driver, so he's getting some brownie
That's
points on
awesome.
the show tonight. Yeah, fucking awesome, dude.
Take
Shout out
it, man.
fucking Randy Dobnak. Chris Paddock, I think there's a lot to play with. I think there's times where he is unhittable. He'll have games with 11, 12 Ks. Tigers pitching development has been pretty solid. I mean, look at fucking Tarek Skubal.
Yeah.
Look at Casey Mize.
Yeah.
Look at Reese Olson. Like, they've been able to do it. So
even Jack
I like the move a lot.
Too.
Yeah, I would say Flaherty to an extent for sure. I like that.
Yes. I like how you mentioned it's kind of been like a little up and down. Like, you know what you're getting at times with him. Some other times, you might not get that.
Dude, there are times where Chris Paddock is like vintage San Diego Padres Chris Paddock. Like, he's borderline unhittable.
This guy is like almost just a guaranteed 5 innings or more. Like, the last couple starts he made have been, very quality, only 1 earned run in each of those starts. Starts before that, those 2, 11 earned runs combined. So, I mean...
Yeah, mixed bag.
Yeah, we'll see what the Tigers can do. But, I mean, in terms of upside and what you could get for a starter here, I love it. And I really... I love that they only had to give 1 prospect for him. I think that's a super fair deal. And I think he's honestly gonna do better with the Tigers.
Yeah, look for even if you look at his pitch plot, his cutter and slider are like almost the same pitch. Like, it's really hard to distinguish them. Like, maybe they drop the slider a little bit, make it more gyro, or like maybe add a little bit more sweep to it. Like, dude, Chris Paddock, there's a lot, like 6 pitch mix. There's a lot to work with Paddock. Like, plus change up, the cutter shape is good. Like I said, maybe kind of drop the slider a little bit or add some horizontal break because it's like the same as the cutter. Solid curveball, sinker occasionally, not really, but there's a lot to work with. I like the Paddock addition for the Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to. He had a great first debut with them. So, again, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Real quick before we send him off for the night, Ethan, put you on the spot here. Your winner and loser of the 2025 trade deadline.
Fuck. Dude, I want to say...
I can go first if you want me to go first.
Nah, I want to say Red Sox, but like, dude, the Red Sox are really solid. I don't think they really needed to... I know that was kind of getting overblown today. They didn't really need to add like too much. Like, they needed to add a quality starter. I think Dustin May could fucking cook with them, with Andrew Bailey. I'm still going Braves. The Braves had so much shit to sell. They didn't do it. Bummer, Ozuna. I get the Ozuna stuff, but he was still rumored to a few teams. Even Iglesias return like would have been pretty solid. I think the Braves are probably my biggest loser. I think they could have sold a little bit more off, and they're still going to be insane next year. So I would say the Braves biggest winner. I mean, fucking probably you guys. Like, the Yankees had such a good deadline.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it.
I mean, dude, the Yankees had a great deadline. They got Cabby. Like that's just kind of like Cabby. A Rays staple for me. They have just a plethora of bullpen talent. They got Doval. They got Bednar. They got so many guys. They got Jake Bird. Dude, probably Yankees. I will say, though, dude, the Rays had such a good deadline. Oh, my gosh. Pete Fairbanks was not moved. Was there a part of me that thought he was moved? Yandy Diaz and Brandon Lau, in my opinion, there was no shot that they were moved. They were too much in a playoff contention.
I shelled out a prediction for Yandy Diaz just in case, but no part of me thought he was getting moved.
No. But yeah, Rays had a great deadline, but dude, I think you guys fucking... I would say Yankees or Mets knocked it out of the park, especially towards the end of the 5 o'clock window nearing 6 p.m. They did really good.
Yeah, in terms of buyers that won for me, I'm going with the Mets and Yankees. I think those are the 1 and 2. I think the Mets are the clear one, in my opinion. Addressed every single need that they had and really just made that team from top to bottom so much better. I think the biggest loser is the Braves, honestly. I'm going to have to agree with you on that.
Dude, it's like, come on, man. What the fuck
in terms of teams that we knew kind of had to do something and just didn't do anything, I don't love what they did. I don't think the Twins lost. I mean, we knew that it was going to be a fire sale, and if you're going to fire sale, you might as well just go all out. Like, I don't really understand that. The Marlins kind of are a big loser to me here. They couldn't move Cabrera, they didn't move Sandy. All they moved was, if I'm not wrong, Jesus Sanchez, and they didn't move Anthony Bender. Like, they didn't. Who else? I don't think they moved anybody else.
No, not
And I
really.
knew they weren't really gonna like sell, but
Yeah,
they're not
I
gonna
think I
win like a wild card spot here.
there are pieces that I definitely would have held on to. Like in my opinion, I think trading if they would have traded Sandy this deadline, I think would have been so dumb because his value one
Anywhere.
he could maybe even stay there long term. Like I get the trade stuff, but he could probably stay there. He's already a veteran guy on that team. He's very well established. He's going to be great once he's fully healthy. We haven't even really seen that yet, other than his last, I think, like maybe 5 or 6 starts. Eddie Cabrera too. Like, dude, Edward Cabrera is fucking so gross. Hopefully they just like kind of build around him. But yeah, like I think the Braves' biggest losers. I think you have a lot of pieces to sell, and you're going to be so good next year. Just kind of get value and kind of continue that 2026 window. And yeah, Mets great deadline. Phillies great deadline. And I understand Leo DeVries freakouts on Twitter today, dude. But bro, the San Diego fucking Padres got a capable catcher. You're not going to see Martin Maldonado shit his pants back there, every other day behind the plate. You get arguably the highest upside reliever among any team other than Johan Duran, which Mason Miller is younger by I think like 4 years. So you have that. And then you go out and get Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano. Like, dude, if I was a Padres fan, I understand like the prospect stuff. I get it. I'd be fucking pissed if I moved Leo DeVries too for Mason Miller.
Sure.
But at the same time, in terms of MLB ready talent in that window, you didn't move Cease. You didn't really trade. Like, in terms of MLB level, you didn't trade anyone off your roster. The prospect stuff, I kind of disagree to an extent too. But dude, Padres hella aggressive. And as I say that, Kyle Raleigh just hit his 42nd home run. So that guy's fucking incredible.
Oh, he did. That was one of my home run picks today. Let's go.
Cole Young, 470-foot home run. Dude, second off of the windows.
Oh shit!
Holy shit!
Yo, one more trade deadline winner before we end it for tonight.
Say it.
Late. Seattle Mariners, man, what an incredible deadline they had.
I don't even know how we didn't mention the Mariners. That's good.
They upgrade the corner infield with 2 superstars. Maybe ease up on Josh Naylor being a superstar, but a great notable player to add. And they hung on to Colt Emerson, Lazaro Montes, Harry Ford, Michael Arroyo, Ryan Sloan, Lynn Celestin, and Johnny Farmelo. I mean, they hung on to all of their top 100 prospects.
And they got Ferguson too. Yeah, honestly, dude, yeah, that's insane.
I don't know if I could. I don't know if I can put them over the Yankees or the Mets because I think both of those teams address more needs than they did. But dude, I mean, you want to talk about impact bats added and then a really high leverage reliever in there as well. I love every move that they made, and they still have one of the brightest futures in the entire league.
Yeah, and it's like, and I think you could kind of agree with this too. This is like the deadline everyone wanted for the Mariners. It was like, wow, they're going to be rumored in this guy, and like they've been rumored in guys in the offseason, but they don't get them in trades, and like they just fall through. Like Luis Robert has been in talks and stuff like that. Dude, they went out and got some dogs. They got the best soft contact pitcher among relievers in baseball this year. You get Eugenio Suarez, in my opinion, for not that fucking much. Like, they didn't really give up a huge guy for any of these dudes. Josh Naylor, I think, is first.
Give up Tyler Locklear.
Bro.
That's it.
I like Locklear a little bit, but yeah, I mean, dude, if you're telling me that the biggest guy that you moved and you get Caleb Ferguson, Josh Naylor, Eugenio Suarez, and it's Locklear, like, dude, that's a fucking win in my book. I thought Montez was gone. I thought Emerson was gone. Like, someone around those ranges.
I thought Arroyo was gone 100%.
100%. I agree. I can't believe that we skipped over the Mariners until you brought them up at the end. Mariners fucking knocked out of the park. And also, I will say too, dude, Rangers, good for the Rangers. They were kind of out of it. People were like, man, like the Rangers are not moving me. Dude, they add a lot of bullpen arms. They add Merrill Kelly. I like it. I like it a lot.
I agree. I love the AL West deadlines. Incredible. The American League teams, like, and honestly, like every single team really hit it out of the park here with what they went out and did. One of the most fun deadlines I've ever like watched as a fan. Like the second one that I've covered as like a, I guess, baseball like
Oh,
journalist or reporter. But
dude, next year, guys, I'm telling you, we are requesting off. We will be going live next year, the entire fucking day of the final day of the trade deadline. Like, no doubt about it.
yeah,
No doubt about
and
it.
I mean, I want to shout out Robbie Hyde, and I don't know if he's tuning in. I know he's a either follower both of us, or I know he follows me, so I appreciate his support. But dude, like he was live all day. And the
Dude, yeah.
respect I have for that guy for going live from like I think 1 p.m. to like the end of the deadline,
Dude, yeah.
that's a grind. So
100%. Shout out Robbie.
massive props there to him and the entire community for all the work that they put in. Jeff Passan, even Ken Rosenthal. I know I'm
John
missing so many
Heyman.
people. John Heyman, Jack Curry. All the reporters.
Dude, Jack Curry was on his shit this deadline. I was seeing a lot of Jack Curry credit. Like
he was
cooking.
He was cooking, man. But shout out the reporters that help us get this news out for you guys. And hopefully one day we are those reporters breaking the news for you. Until then, we can just report it on Twitter and on YouTube and everything for you guys. But appreciate the over 1,400 people watching live. If you are watching the replay, we appreciate you. Let us know down in the comments, maybe on YouTube or either on our Twitters, what your favorite deadline move was, what your least favorite one was, or who your winners and losers are. We want to see what all you guys have to say about the deadline. And probably throw out a list here before I go to bed of my favorite prospect fits from the return.
Yeah, really quick. This will be the last thing. Who was your favorite out of the deadline? Any team.
Like favorite
could be Yankee, any team. Who was your favorite addition in the deadline?
Oh, that's a really good one. I love the system fit for Victor Figueroa in the Orioles, just because he was a late round draft pick who's just surged up a lot of people's prospect boards. I think I'd be doing a disservice not saying Blaze Jordan to the Cardinals, though.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
When we talk about guys who are roadblocked, and either him or Rock Riggio to the Rockies, I think both of those guys are going to be studs at the big league level, and I really like that. I'm just pissed that the Yankees can't get it from Riggio, but that was always going to be a toss-up. So I'm excited to see what he does in Coors. Those two.
I love the Jacks move. I'm not going to mention that for obvious reasons because it's my team. And I love the Shane Bieber move. Not in terms of who they gave away, because holy shit, they gave away a demon. Dude, if Shane Bieber dominates down the stretch for the Blue Jays, they haven't done anything significant in the last 10 years. They're finally happy. They can celebrate on Twitter. No one can shit on them because the Blue Jays are good this year. I love the Shane Bieber addition. I don't love who they gave up for him, because that guy's probably going to be better than Shane Bieber in like a year and a half. But man, that is a big move. I think it shocked a lot of people, and it really signifies like, dude, the Blue Jays are fucking here. They're legit, and they want to win. They want to go deep in the postseason. So I love that move.
Yeah, there were so many really good fits. Like one more, how can we not say Carlos Correa?
Oh my God.
How can we not say it? That was, dude, this deadline has just been so entertaining. Like literally from like the moment I woke up until the end of the deadline, man, I was sat in front of my phone or my computer, just putting content out there. It was seriously so much fun.
Yeah, shout out everyone for supporting both of us during like the deadline. Like, dude, this has been actually incredible. And thank you guys for that.
Supporting like the people close to us as well, like Sam and Will and just all the guys who are pushing out deadline content. They all killed it. So make sure you go checking out Overdue Sports, Discuss Baseball. Lewis especially. I mean, for being on a different continent during the trade deadline,
dude's going to sleep 5:30 EST. So
that dude killed it. So shout out Lewis Analysis as well. I mean, he absolutely killed the trade deadline. All the skippers, you guys just did a great job. So make sure you're going and following all of them. Believe they did a live show as well. So I mean, if you guys are coming from here, go make sure to show some love on that as well. But thank you so much, over 1,400 people, for tuning in tonight. We'll be back here probably in a couple of days. And we'll keep pushing out content for you guys here on Inside the Diamond and on our socials as well. Make sure to go follow those. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you liked the show. Go check out all of our other shows as well, interviews, all that stuff. We'll see you guys next time here on Inside the Diamond. Ethan, man, got anything for him before we send it off?
Griffin Jax is a fucking Tampa Bay Ray. Open the fucking arches for that guy. Oh my God, what a move, bro. 2.5 years ago. Oh my God. Unbelievable move. Eric Neander cooked. I mean, there was zero question he was going to do it. he cooked. And Hunter Fiducia too. I could get into it all day long, but yeah, Griffin Jax plays for the Tampa Bay Rays, and he's going to be doing it for a few years. I fucking love it.
Stearns, Preller, Brian Cashman, you guys are all sickos. We'll see you guys next time here on Inside the Diamond. Thank you all for watching the trade deadline show. We'll see what we got next time for you guys, but enjoy the rest of the baseball this weekend, and we'll see you all soon.